Hey guys, what's going on? John and I are here with a new thing that we are starting to do, the Paranormal Podcast. How are you doing, man?
Man, I'm really excited to be here. I'm so excited to finally start this. This has been on my mind for a long time. And
4 years in the making, guys.
I know. We've been thinking about this for a long time. It's kind of been back burner-ish, but like here we are. We've got a green screen set up. We got some decent audio equipment, decent camera, okay lighting. We hope to kind of improve things as we go along, but we want to get it down hard, like on evidence. We want the paper. We want it on paper. We want to be able to put it up, and out there for everybody to see on the interwebs and stuff, and get some feedback on. Now, if you are a regular viewer of one of us on our channels, or the Foundry, this is very different. Probably the most outlandish thing that we're going to have here on the Foundry. Maybe, starting, at the Foundry, we do a lot of different things, comic books, gaming, movies,
yep.
yeah, a lot of different things. And we hope to branch out a little bit more into just strange and weird stuff. But this is a podcast mainly for the strange and weird stuff. So, I guess we're going to take it episode by episode, looking at, different paranormal occult cases of just weird things going on, Next week, we hope to have a guest, someone from the Foundry, to join us, and take a look at something. But this week, we just kind of, Kylo and I, we wanted to be the host of your show, and we wanted to show you guys, we want to talk about a little case called, what was that again, Kylo?
It is Skinwalker Ranch, and honestly, this dude, he confused me. You know me, I dig bodies and all that, and I took this the whole different way, but he just blew me out of the water with this thing, Skinwalker Ranch. You want to tell us a little bit about it, boss man?
I'd love to. So Skinwalker Ranch it's a property in the late 90s that was purchased by a family, a nice family. They wanted to make a living, doing Skinwalker stuff. No, they wanted to, I want to have a cattle farm. You just know, a little cattle farm in little Utah, And they're like, let's do some, let's do some fucking cattle, and as a family would, And what do? This shit goes wrong. If you can think of it, it goes wrong. Everything goes wrong. This place is called the most paranormal place on the entire planet by some. And if you believe all that, when the thing is, after like researching for a few hours and whatnot, and I'm assuming you found the exact same thing, and what we didn't find really was no evidence.
no fact, no nothing, no video, no pictures,
no photos,
no nothing,
no audio,
just people saying, I swear that I saw this shit happen.
Scout's honor.
Yeah,
it's just a lot of witnesses accounts of just what happened here at this ranch, for a period of a couple years and whatnot, which is really insane to think about, that there's just nothing recorded. But I guess it's kind of a little before the information age, but still something,
Yeah, some kind of evidence has to give at some point.
Yeah, especially when there's so many things that are being reported here.
Especially when people over and over again say the same thing.
And so where this takes place, a little place called Sherman's Ranch here down in Utah, kind of a little dirt road off of little Utah, there it is. Skinwalker Ranch on a big billboard. That's a joke. But Kylo, can you tell us what a Skinwalker is?
So a Skinwalker, when I read up on it, was kind of basically like a Wendigo, a Native American kind of, I guess folklore isn't really the word, but like a healer in a sense, like a witch in the Native American community, a person who, instead of decided to benefit the camp themselves, decided to benefit themselves and become something that transcended from person to, what would you call it? Maybe God, or just
I guess in their head maybe, but
God,
morphine. What they morph, they're into animal-like creatures and whatnot, and they do some dastardly things with some rituals and manipulating magic and whatnot. So it's a little different from a healer, though. In the Navajo culture, it's very different actually. There's a healer, and what used to be a healer are the witches. They use those positive powers, but they use them for bad, pretty much. That's the way it's explained. And one way I kind of looked at it was kind of like Star Wars. You have a Jedi that eventually turns to the Sith, which happened 1 or 2 times. I don't know.
I got you. They started off good, and they eventually became bad.
They use those powers they learned for being good, and they just use them for bad. So that's what it kind of that's what a witch might seem like, or what it is, you know.
Yeah, like why would I bother helping others when I can help myself for personal gain? Like really hardcore.
So apparently, this area, this Sherman's Ranch, just has so many of these. They just had to call it Skinwalker Ranch. But there's so many things happening here. So many things, not just Skinwalkers. Kyle, can you name a few of these like crazy amount of like reports here?
Oh my god, we got like glowing orbs, undead animals, poltergeist animals, basically, mutilated animals, UFOs, Nazi zombie. Just kidding.
I'm like, wait a minute, that's next week.
And hey, Skinwalkers.
Yeah, Skinwalkers. Who doesn't love that good old Skinwalker? So, I got a little timeline here for you about the Sherman family that ended up buying this property. So, you know, Shermans. You know, there's Papa Sherman. There's the Sherman wife. You know, Mama Sherman, and the two kids. You know, there's two kids. You don't hear about too much of those in the reports and stories and stuff. By the way, I kind of should have went into this a little bit before. Kyle and I, we did our separate research. We kind of went into two different sources. Multiple different sources, but we didn't. I don't think we crossed anywhere, but we may have. So we have different information, and we may build on top of each other, or we may have kind of information maybe crossing each other out. But it's interesting because there's going to be a lot of different informative sites and just things you can find on the web.
Different points of views and whatnot. People say this, and some people say that.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting having maybe something working together or clashing. So, but we're going to have a little timeline for you guys. So. 1994. There's a family. You know, they're looking for a property to buy. They want to we need to become ranchers. We need to start cattling. You know, we need to make a living and have a place for our cows. Like, got it. How about a ranch? You're like, fucking A, Terry Sherman. That's a good idea. That was said by Gwen Sherman, the wife, which I did not say. I forgot. But so down in Utah, you know, there's a rugged stretch of land. You know. Nothing creepy, nothing paranormal by looking at it, you know, for a little bit. So like, hey, let's take a look at this ranch here. Let's get the real estate agent on the phone. Let's get a call, you know. Let's check it out. So checking it out, looking at it, like, yo, this place is looking nice. You know, we can make a nice living here on this ranch. You know, plenty of land for us. So there's one thing though, one little thing that's kind of tips them off. Like, that's kind of weird. What's that one thing you ask? Locks.
What kind of locks, John?
Deadbolt locks.
Where are the deadbolt locks?
Fucking everywhere. There's deadbolt locks everywhere. What? Cabinets, doors, windows. Not only on the inside, but also on the outside. What is the point of having locks on the inside and outside?
Hey man, maybe you gotta get your kids to go outside, make sure they stay outside. You gotta ground them, make sure they stay inside.
Yeah. Or maybe your kids turn into skinwalkers, you throw them outside, and then you stay inside. You know, there's a couple different situations here, but I don't think they asked any of those questions, hence it wasn't called Skinwalker Ranch when buying it. I hope it wasn't called that. I hope they knowingly didn't sign a deed to Skinwalker fucking Ranch, you know, and then be surprised later on, like, oh, honey, there's skinwalkers outside. Like, who would have thought that there'd be skinwalkers on Skinwalker Ranch?
Or maybe they're thinking, like, you know, I got skin, I walk. Maybe I'm a skinwalker.
Oh, shit, yeah, maybe they're on a totally different mindset. You're right. Didn't think about that. But, so, 1994, you know, after learning about these weird locks, so what's the first thing they buy it? So, okay, naturally, they buy it. But, immediately, moving day. Alright, so, moving in, you know, a little bit of commotion, you know, this big family event, moving in, maybe they got some help, some family members, maybe some workers, you know, maybe some cattle people who are going to be working on the ranch kind of thing. So they're moving boxes in, and what does Terry see in the distance next to all of his cattle out there? He sees a wolf.
Oh, I was going to say Skinwalker. I'm sorry, continue.
He sees a wolf. He says, "Oh shit, that's a wolf. Those are dangerous. That could hurt my cattle." So this wolf is just staring at the family for motionless, not moving for a long period of time. So finally, the wolf just dives for the cattle, starts attacking one of the cows. Terry goes inside, grabs a weapon, grabs a rifle or a shotgun or something, starts unloading on this wolf, knocks it down. The wolf scurries away, and then Terry goes to investigate. Maybe he's got to check on the cow that was damaged or hurt, but he looks to see, and there's just no the wolf. Even though he hit it, there's just no traces of blood, no evidence of it being hurt at all. It just kind of walked away from it, and a little strange.
And we gotta assume, especially with this man, that may not have farming experience and whatnot, especially if he has a gun. He probably has prior gun experience. He should be able to hit something at that range, especially if it's focused on a cow. So there's something weird going on there.
Yeah, so we're pretty sure that he hit it. And a man in Utah that's going to go into cattling, you know, there's certain dangers when it comes to that kind of line of work that he's probably, you know, assumed and probably have prepared for, like wolves or coyotes or something like that. You know, you've got to protect your farm. So, you know, he's pretty sure he hits it. There's no blood. There's nothing on the ground. So, like, okay. But, you know, which has led up to, unfortunately, more wolf sightings here on Skinwalker Ranch that the Shermans have to deal with. There's one specific Sherman, Gwen Sherman, you know, she's driving towards inside the ranch. She's heading home, you know, entering the ranch, and she sees a wolf, you know, not really different.
I'm sorry, real quick for me, because I don't know. Who is Gwen Sherman? That is
his wife.
The mom's?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sorry. So she sees a wolf. But this wolf is not of ordinary size. It's about 3 to 4 times bigger than the normal wolf size that they've been seeing. So this wolf, she says that the head was above her car. That's how big a fucking wolf, that's how big it was. It was standing above, pretty much. Where the head began, it was above the roof of her car. That's how big this thing is. So you got wolves that won't die due to gunfire, and you got wolves that are bigger than a goddamn car.
Do we got werewolves on the Skinwalker Ranch? What the fuck is going on here?
To get the fuck out. That's what needs to happen. But this thing is huge. That's just the beginning of just these strange experiences that they start to witness and be a part of and whatnot. So, all right. So some nights, the Shermans, you know, it's really isn't normal for them, or I guess anybody. They would just wake up out of the blue and they'd see outside, and there's just light, you know, just beating down on their ranch, just as if it was daylight or something in the middle of the night. It'd be lit up like a football field. Just, it looks like stadium lights just beating down here on the ranch. Out of nowhere. Just, I don't know for how long. You know, I couldn't find anything about that, but
maybe it's like the holy light coming down, telling them to get the fuck out of the fucking ranch.
The sun, you know, like maybe that's a sign. It's just go, go, go kind of thing. Or like, look outside. You can see all the goddamn skinwalkers that are on your ranch. But, yeah, so that's one thing there. And Kylo, you mentioned something about poltergeists. What do you know about poltergeists from the top of your head?
Well, they are ghosts, namely. Paranormal phenomenons, people, not people. It can be a wide range of things. It could honestly be anything from something demonic to something once living that's not living anymore.
Okay, so there's a little brief thing on that. So they hear the workers on Skinwalker Ranch. They start to hear maybe the workers or Shermans. I'm not sure if it was like specifically the Shermans, but it could have been like cattle workers. Anyways, they're hearing voices, you know, voices above in the air. They're hearing voices conversing, talking to each other, whispers, you know. What are these? Poltergeists? Are these aliens? Are these Skinwalkers? You know, like what is going on? Like that's a crazy thing. Like we're gonna dive into so many different like things here, potential like paranormalities. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm gonna make it a word. Paranormalities. There's just too many things going on here. So, you know, now you get the typical crop circles starting to show up, cattle mutilations, random holes in the ground for whatever reason. Quite unlucky here at Skinwalker Ranch. The Shermans not having a good time. Not having a good time at all at Skinwalker's Ranch. No, so, all right, so big thing here. Big thing here. Orbs. What do you know about orbs?
They glow, and they're different colors, and they can mean a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of things. So the family here, they start to see these orbs so much that they start color coordinating these orbs and start putting them in their own categories. So we have a harmless type of orb here. They call it a basketball. The neighbors of the Shermans and the Shermans itself, they call it a basketball, kind of like the color of Kylo's shirt here. Exactly. Yeah. So this orb, this orange orb, they see. Just harmless, you know, just maybe just going about its business, you know, not doing much. There's also another type of orb, a blue one, and this one has been reports of being rare but dangerous. Now, some people have been saying that the orbs have come from out of the ships themselves, but you brought up the point.
The way that the website I was reading up on was insinuating was that it was more poltergeist and or paranormal phenomenon. Like, it could have been Native American origin, or it just could have been something that once lived on the land origin.
Mm-hmm.
Angry specters or
some sort of ancient evil, perhaps, from before their times. Because this ranch didn't start, the hauntings and the paranormalities didn't start with the Shermans. Dating back to the 1950s, there were many reports of UFOs and whatnot, right at the beginning, like the big wave of like when everyone started to see UFO. Like everyone and their moms started to see UFOs. So don't know how like accurate that stuff is from the 50s, but this is like the most important part here, I guess, like with the Shermans, with Skinwalker Ranch. But yeah, so you're seeing different types of orbs here. Even like later down the line, much later, years later, there were reports of even yellow orbs that were being seen and visible and whatnot. But crazy enough, the blue orbs that we mentioned, apparently they're dangerous. So, Kylo, you got a little story for us, don't you, about one night where Terry Sherman's taking out his puppers, right, his doggies.
So, one sad night, Terry Sherman goes out. He, I think, just likes to toss and turn in bed. He's like, I didn't let the dogs out today. And just random night, just gets out of bed and just like, all right, head on outside. Stands out on the porch, maybe smoking something, just leash, who knows. And he sees this blue orb just happening by. And he's like, oh shit.
What is he thinking here? Blue orb, bad, dangerous.
Starts stepping back.
Yep,
but the dogs, colorblind, sadly.
Can't see.
They're like,
they
what the hell is this thing?
Oh, it's the orange orb,
It's a new colored orb. Who knows? It's gray. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get that orb. That's fucking crazy. Let's get that orb, boys.
Now, this innocent blue orb, minding his own business, goes out into the woods. And the dogs follow. And later in the night, he's still standing there waiting for his dogs to come back. He's, I believe he's hollering for them to come back.
Yeah, he gives a call or two, waiting for his dogs. But he's just thinking to himself, like, blue orb dogs, they're gone. Time to go to bed. Get some sleep.
Heads on the bed, probably tossing and turning again. The wife's like, so how was letting out the dogs? And he's like,
what dogs? We don't have any dogs. What are you talking about?
He's just like, it went fine. Yeah, they're still outside.
Yeah,
they want to hang out there for the night.
Yeah, I tied them up. They're still there, definitely not dead or anything and killed by blue orbs. What was that? Nothing? Nothing.
Yep. And they go to sleep. And then the next morning, apparently he wakes up, tries hunting around for his dogs, and finds nothing but little bits of ash and black burn spots.
Yes. So Terry thinks that his dogs were incinerated into the ground. Finds these black spots into the ground. Believes his dogs were incinerated by the blue orbs. So he's got killing orbs here. Killing orbs that are killing life forms. Like, a little different from an animal attack, on your cattle. That's something that you don't see very often. Something that I've actually never seen is that someone getting incinerated besides maybe like an atom bomb or something like that, but...
You know what I'm thinking? I think we should stick around at the house for a little bit. That's some free protection right there.
That's where witnesses should go, who are going to be put on trial. It's like, throw them out of the house. Bob comes by, fucking wipe them all out, You
got like a friend you absolutely hate. It's like, hey, come on down.
Come on over. I'm going to be at Skinwalker Ranch.
Come over at like 12:05 a.m. Around that time. Don't worry, the lights
Blue
will be
Orb
on.
City, Oh, Blue Orb. Yeah, I got a blue orb, kind of flashes around. Blue Orb.
Right. No, that's my lantern, man. Go up to it.
Yeah, go up to it, knock on the door. And then pop, fucking laser beam them. They're dead. There you go. Don't have to worry about that problem. Only thing you got to worry about is just getting out of there without being incinerated as well. Another black stain on the carpet there. So that's a major incident. That's got to be a turning point for this family, you think. But no. The family lives there up until 1996, 2 years. 2 years of this pain and suffering, of violent nightmares, experiencing and witnessing over like a dozen UFO sightings as well, just tons of other things, cattle mutilations, crop circles. The family can't sleep at night. They have violent nightmares. Their just luck has turned for the worse. The wife has lost her job. The kids can barely make it at school. The grades are so low. They can barely make a living at this ranch because their entire livelihood is just being eaten alive by the wolves, the skinwalkers, the blue orb is just fucking killing everything, you know? Can't even have a damn dog at this place. Can't even have a damn dog. It is getting ridiculous. They've got to get out.
Poor Bessie.
They've got to get out. The family, they've got to cheese it, you know? So what are they going to do? Have they sunk how much money into this damn place?
For around the time, I believe is what they said, $200,000.
$200,000 in 1994 has got to be a big chunk of change, especially like, excuse me, Burp City, especially with raising a family, you know. Plus you're taking a big gamble on a place
called Skinwalker Ranch, so you know how that goes. You just gotta double down, man. Double down.
Honey, should we buy this place, Skinwalker Ranch? What's the worst that happen? So they get lucky enough. Where they find a man finds them by the name of Robert Bigelow. And you know what Robert Bigelow is known for, Kylo?
Owning a company and I believe it was the CNIS or
the NIDS.
NIDS.
Or we're gonna call them NIDS.
I like that.
Perfect.
I really like that.
So Robert Bigelow, he's the owner of this company called NIDS, the National Institute of Discovery Science. And what do?
He walks up, or they walk up to him, and they're like, "Hey, man, you interested in buying a paranormal house or anything like that?" And he's like, "Oh shit, you got that? I got $4.5 million for you right here. How's that sound?" And they're like, "Okay." 10 times payout on their original investment, and they are fucking gone.
Fuck out of there. They change their last name, and they get as far away as Skinwalker Ranch as they possibly can get.
Skinwalkers? Never heard of them.
What's that? Walking in skin? That's us. Blue orbs? Nah, man. No such thing. No such thing. Any dogs? I'm a cat person. What are you talking about? So, the National Institute for Discovery Science, it's a private company owned by Robert Bigelow. And Robert Bigelow, he owns, he used to be a real estate developer, So he made his fortune just developing, like, real estate, housing developments, stuff like that. Made tons and tons of money. So what does he do? He invests all that money into a brand new company, that's just going to investigate the paranormal. Bit of a gamble, too. Your entire life savings kind of thing on that. Something you may not get any profits from, but maybe he's got a side business going on here. So he spends $4.5 million on this ranch, and decides to move his team in. He's got a team of scientists that he pays, team of scientists he pays to monitor at this ranch 24/7. They install video cameras, monitoring equipment, some real high-tech stuff.
Yep. Fences, barbed wire, keep people out.
Watchtowers. Oh yeah, they keep this place on lockdown because by 1996, word has spread out all over Utah, all over America, over the world of how haunted and creepy and just messed up with all these paranormalities here at this ranch. It's a popular place, so he's got to kind of keep things on wrap. Can't let anybody in. They'll just kind of like mess up the investigation. It won't be legitimate.
That or falsify information or something like that. Who knows?
That too, yeah. So 1996, he buys the ranch, after 2 years of the Shermans, enduring that pain and suffering. So, but Robert Bigelow and the NIDS are here to solve that problem and investigate. So, what happens? Moving in day. That's the show, The Skinwalkers and the UFOs and everybody else, they've got to put on a show for moving day. They got to realize this is our place, motherfuckers. This is our goddamn town. This is our ranch, It's Skinwalker Ranch for a reason. It's not Nid's Ranch. So, moving in day, they're at night pretty much, and it's the first night that the team is spending the night there, and they see yellow orbs outside. And the first thing, let's investigate. Yo, we got a live one. Let's go. And everyone runs outside. They check stuff out. They're following the orbs. They're checking it out, and they see in the distance creatures. They see human-like creatures. But they get a little bit closer. They scatter. They scutter everywhere like bugs, like cockroaches. Some go up trees. Some go
deep into the woods.
Yeah,
just disappearing, like everything.
And as they get a little bit closer and closer and closer, these creatures, they start to morph before their eyes. They start to shapeshift. Like Skinwalker. Skinwalkers change into humans. Change into wolves maybe. You know, maybe a wolf 3 or 4 times bigger. You know,
size of a fucking car, huh?
Maybe. All hypothetical. You know, all if, maybe. Who knows if this is real or not? But so there's a couple ranchers, you know, with these scientists escorting them because their livelihood, you know, is on the line as well. They're like, we want to get this solved because their cattle being eaten as well, you know, being mutilated, and they're getting crop circles as well, and they're getting all kinds of crazy and creepy things happening as well. But you know, Skinwalker Ranch, for some reason, they get all the guts and glory. But so what does this rancher do? Kind of like the first day that good old Terry Sherman was home. You know, what does this rancher do, Kylo?
He said this town ain't big enough for the 2 of us. No, just kidding. He shot at it. Shot the shit out of it. Mm-hmm. And what happened then?
So he goes to check on his new kill, you know, to say, hey guys, I got the skin. Wait a fucking minute. There's not a skinwalker here. There's not even blood here.
Yep, all ready to hang that motherfucker up on a wall and everything. He's like, wait a minute.
There's no skinwalker. What the fuck?
Absolutely nothing.
Yep, not a damn thing, except one thing.
Claw marks in the dirt.
Yep, he found tracks. Found human-like tracks with claws.
Not 1 claw, not 2 claw, not 3 claw, not 6 claw, but 5 claw.
Five claws. You know, like a handprint with claws, though. You know, just kind of embedded into the ground. They find these tracks. You know, that's a bit of hard evidence that we've actually heard of, like, anything like. You know, if I was Terry, you know, Sherman, you know, said like if the dogs got incinerated, I'd take a photo. I'd get a camera. You know, I'd take a photo of that. You know, just so like. You know, why wouldn't you start documenting shit? You know, like after the first year of that stuff. Like, if it's so common, buy a fucking camera.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they were just so poor. It's like, we can't even afford a camera. Can't even afford to send our children to school. Maybe it's a conspiracy theory.
Maybe. Find out in the next episode of Foundry Files. So, we got tons of activity reported here. So we've got aircrafts reported, like UFOs. We got balls of lights floating above the property. You know, we got cattle mutilations. We got hundreds and hundreds of dirt. Hundreds and hundreds of pounds of dirt. You know, from lifted up from the ground, put into a spot. Overnight, this stuff is just disappearing and reappearing all over the place. And we got like humanoid creatures, like skinwalkers, you know, roaming around the ranch. Nothing concrete, but you know, I don't want to go on a limb and say they're skinwalkers, but they're skinwalkers.
Man, know? I still gotta tell you, with that dirt and that shape-shifting stuff, it's gotta be Hero Brian from Minecraft.
It's just here. Is the Enderman
moving dirt and shit? Those motherfuckers.
Takes that block of dirt. So, what is going on here? The most paranormal place on Earth. What's going on here? So we have so many strange occurrences, not just one thing, you know, going super hard. It's about 40 different things, you know. So sermons, are they lying? Are they what's going on here? Are they making it up? Are they lying? Have they misidentified? Are they misunderstanding what's going on here? What could possibly be? What could it be? You know, is it something like at this ranch that's drawing all this attention? Is it a focal point that's drawing all these paranormal, like, just occurrences and reports? Like, is it drawing UFOs? Is it drawing a poltergeist? Is it drawing nearby skinwalkers from, like,
out of the fucking woodwork?
Everywhere. It's just everything's coming to this ranch, you know? Is it the Shermans themselves? Is it something to do with the ranch, like the farmhouse, you know? Is it some sort of secret military base or like an ancient evil that's been embedded into the groundwork of that ranch, that property, you know? But by 2002, the paranormal just activity dies down to a low. And they gotta sell. NIDS, they're out of money. They fold. Company folds. They go bankrupt. They're donezo. But, yeah, so the place is just done. You know, no activity going on. But by 2017, UFO sightings have, you know, they've been reported now and then again. So it's back up a little bit, you know. So if you want to go to Skinwalker Ranch, go check out some UFOs. You're more than welcome to. I don't know if how popular the places with skinwalkers nowadays at Skinwalker Ranch. But that's about it for the storyline, you guys. Now we kind of have to put all of our cards on the table and figure out. We got to think. We got to investigate here. What could it possibly be?
Now, real quick, if you do go to visit it, you better not fucking bring a camera because you're not going to see shit.
Nope, because that's the only way you'll see something if you don't bring anything.
Yep.
Hence the Sherman's experience.
Sadly, but truly, that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, they got evidence. They can make evidence. Fuck that.
It's so what's going on here? So we have UFOs, all right? We have skinwalkers. We have poltergeists. We kind of got orbs, you know. It's kind of in between.
I think
UFOs.
that's kind of UFOs and poltergeists.
Kinda
Maybe
in between
something
them, you know?
unworldly from our world.
So yeah, cat mutilations. I'd say that's kind of a combo between UFOs and skinwalkers.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of both of that. Like hence the wolf attacking them. So could it be, you know, just native? Like could it be Native Americans, Native American witches that are nearby? Not a fan of people moving in near to them. So what do? Try to destroy their livelihood. Try to scare them off, like good old Scooby-Doo style, but except killing dogs and cows by the fucking hundreds of dollars.
Sometimes the scaring off doesn't work, and you got to resort to drastic measures.
Yeah. It's just a lot of things going on here at one location, and it's kind of hard to believe, like, why, if they were going to make up one thing, you know, they stick to one thing, you know, but except it's like, why would you dive into so many other things, too?
Seems like we have all the eggs in this basket right here.
Mm-hmm.
Just
all different types of eggs. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like maybe the cattle mutilation, you know, maybe it's mainly associated with like UFOs, right? And
I honestly got more of a poltergeist indoor skinwalker thing from that. Honestly.
Yeah, same here. Like I don't know about these orbs, you know, I don't know about them, but like I'm thinking maybe they saw all these cattle mutilations, you know, and they saw some other activity going on there, and first thing you think of is like what's popular back then? Are skinwalkers too popular? Like are they really known to like people before the information age? You know, you got books of them or something like that. Maybe there's a legend or folktale, but maybe they don't think of. Maybe they just think of like the first thing comes to their mind. You know, like UFOs. Like maybe it's extraterrestrial. You know, I think maybe it's more skinwalker. You know, for a reason. Maybe less extraterrestrial. But it's so we're gonna come down to it. Either do we believe in this, yes or no? And we would like you guys go down to the comment section too, and we want to know what you guys think of the whole thing. Guys think they're telling the truth, half truth, or do you guys think like, nah, man, there's no way you can believe in any of this stuff?
And of course, if we ever got anything wrong in this, we might have, we might not have.
Definitely,
There's always new information being produced. Different days.
Oh yeah, and plus if you guys want to correct us on anything, I want to talk about a little bit of stuff below or recommend a case or two. We'd love that as well. But let's get down to the conclusion. So I'm going to go first and say that it's interesting. You know, it's really interesting, which is the fact that there's no hard evidence. There's no photographs. There's no videos. There's no, like, just nothing, you know? Nothing that you can look at and be like, oh, wow, like, okay. Like, that supports something, you know? Like, maybe, like, countless of other eyewitnesses, like, supporting something, but, like, or saying the same story, but it's not even, like, that, really. It's just kind of like, those orbs in the sky, like, what are you seeing? Like, is it a light? Like, what? It's just not specific enough. Like, maybe, like, an activity of an orb, like, doing something over and over again, or, like, a routine or something you'd be able to describe that the orb is doing. But it's just, it is really weird. Like, I agree. Like, it's really weird. Like a lot of unexplainable shit going on here at this ranch, but they're saying like I can't believe it, or like kind of even, yeah, that's gonna be a no for me.
Yeah, it's honestly gonna, like, I don't know. People being on this land countless times, I'm sure like everyone can develop the same story, but it only takes one person to spread a rumor into our lie for people to believe, especially try to get publicity, money.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Shermans though. Like they could have lied about it, but like they made a butt ton of money. They made, like you said, like $4.5 million. If that's true or not, I didn't find that. So that could be true, that could be false. But they did change their name after the fact, and like they didn't write a book or like write a movie or sell their rights to it or anything like that either. You know, they could have made more, probably. Yeah. So, but they did sell for quite a bit of money, so it's not like maybe they did sell out, maybe they didn't, because maybe they didn't need to sell out because they made millions of dollars off of this. But back to what you're saying. Sorry.
No, you're fine. It's it only takes one photo to prove something like that, even if it's like forged or something like that. But like, it's quite something whenever people that may or may not have like actually met up with each other agree that they saw the same things, different things.
Mm-hmm.
Different
So you
things that
think
are the
like
same.
it could be staged or hoaxed a little bit?
It could be partially staged or hoax, but we can never know. But honestly, in my opinion, I think it's kind of made up.
Yeah, yeah. I think it might be a lot of strange occurrences, and I think they're just kind of immediately coming to like conclusions that probably aren't true.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be a no for us. So we've case closed. That's Skinwalker Ranch. So sorry, dogs. I don't know what happened to you, but you guys were not killed by orbs. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like, drop a comment down below. Check out the Foundry Patreon, some of the other Foundry videos if you like gaming stuff or reviews. But yeah, I'm sure we'll be back with another episode. Make sure to leave some other comments down below. We'll see you guys later.
Bye bye.